The old Groucho Marx line just popped into my head. I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would accept me. I walk through these cemeteries, I love them, but I wouldn't want to be here. I love cemeteries. And I love walking through cemeteries. My name is Jesse. Thanks for watching my channel. Let's take a walk. A little background. The Homewood Cemetery, it's in the Point Breeze neighborhood of Pittsburgh, next to Frick Park, Squirrel Hill, and it was founded in 1878, and it's a historic landmark, and it's got just a mess of famous Pittsburgh industrialists and business people. Henry Heinz of Heinz Ketchup, and a few Mellons, Carnegie Mellon types, and a few Rockwells and Fricks. Whenever I'm in a cemetery, I have this feeling that I shouldn't be talking at, normal volume, like I should be whispering, like I'm in a library or something. And, if I was around people, I would not be doing a video with people in a cemetery. However, I literally just saw the workmen open the gates. It's 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning in September. And, if I see others, I'm not going to bother others. But I gotta warn you, trigger warning here. I have a macabre sense of humor. Maybe someone would say I don't really have respect for the dead. I'm joking. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna wake anybody up. Let me try to kind of weasel out of what I just said. Disrespect, respect. I'm totally respectful. I just don't, I don't know what the decorum is. For me, cemeteries they're treasures. And some of them are so gorgeous, like this one. When I was living in Macau, they have these amazing cemeteries on hills overlooking the whole city. And the same in Hong Kong, with the proverbial $1 million views of the Victoria Harbor. And, the shapes of the headstones in different countries, and, the way they present these burial places. I find it all fascinating, and it's just gorgeous. There are a lot of venerable Pittsburgh family names, family members buried here. People with the names of Heinz and Frick, Mellon, Rockwell. But it's definitely not, one of those cemeteries that, people come to see. This is not Père Lachaise in Paris. Like so many just out of college backpackers to Europe. I remember going to Père Lachaise and finding all the headstones of, Oscar Wilde and Chopin and, of course, Jim Morrison and Gertrude Stein and, on and on. This is not that kind of cemetery. Another one of my favorite cemeteries is in San Francisco, where I'm from, the Presidio. It's a military cemetery on another one of those plots of lands that are $1,000,000 views. I say $1,000,000 views. Of course, they're billions of dollar views now. I'll tell you a funny story. Summer and I were driving from San Francisco to Colorado this summer, and we were taking kind of a real highway, but a back highway in Utah, and we passed through this little town called Center Field, and there was this beautiful gateway that said Center Field. It was actually the entrance to the Center Field Cemetery. And so I took a picture, with the tombstones visible in the background, and I posted it on Facebook, and I said, "Put me in, coach." I thought it was just, an example of my twisted sense of humor. The thing is, nobody got it. Everyone was saying, "Oh, I love John Fogerty. I love that song. It makes me think of baseball." Yeah, well. If I were to go all fanboy in this cemetery, the person I'd look for is Chuck Cooper. Anybody know him? Chuck Cooper was the first African American to be drafted by the NBA. I'm a big NBA guy. Cooper is one of these guys that should be better well known. In addition to the NBA, and I said the first African American player drafted, he was one of 3 players that entered the NBA in 1950. If we know our timeline, Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball in 1947. But Cooper was also, he went to Duquesne University, All-American, and he was the first black to play south of the Mason-Dixon line. So he is, in basketball lore and in American history, I think he should be better known. Have you guys heard of Chuck Cooper? This is the first part of the cemetery where I've actually seen flowers. It makes sense. This is a much newer section. These people were deceased in the 20th and the 21st century, whereas the other plots are, could be 150 years old. The old Groucho Marx line just popped into my head. I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would accept me. I walk through these cemeteries, I love them, but I wouldn't want to be here. And yeah, not just because I don't want to die anytime soon. I have no interest in being buried. My parents, they're somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, a little bit in the East River in New York. Or is it the Hudson? Gabe? Hudson? East River? Yeah, they went through the Neptune Society, which is a group, an organization that cremates and then spreads the ashes out at sea. And yeah, I think that's where I'd like to be. Raise your hand if you're thinking now of Donnie from The Big Lebowski. Oh, that's one of the great burial scenes of all time. One of the great not burial scenes. Our book club did something similar. We were on our 20th anniversary of the formation of the club, and one of our founding members had died a couple years before, and we took her ashes and we each spread them along the coastline in Marin County. Don't tell anyone, and I'll deny this because I don't think it's strictly legal. No, we didn't do that. But it was pretty cool. I mean, hypothetically. I think T. Marshall over here has a bigger resting place than the house I just bought. Good on him. Speaking of Chinese cemeteries, in China, the tradition used to be burial. Now it is almost always cremation, and I think it's a law in most, if not all, of the country that bodies cannot be buried. Summer, her mom, you know, we visit her once a year, and it's really kind of cool. I've made a video about it before, I think. Anyway, in her, in the mausoleum, in her cremation kind of storage area, she has got she's got an old game to play with, and pictures, and all kinds of artifacts that would make her happy in the afterlife. It's very cool. I have no feeling for how much of the cemetery I've seen and haven't seen. It's 600 something acres, and it's kind of like the roads and the paths are, well, they're unmarked. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen 20%, 50%. Keep walking. I think that's only the second person that I've seen this morning. And I find that really, I don't know. I just think that a cemetery like this, a cemetery that you can find in other cities, it's just such a, it's a gorgeous treasure of the area. And I hope that they welcome, you know, people who have no relatives interred here. I'm sure they do. I mean, the doors are open. They don't ask any questions. I just think, I mean, I know one of my favorite cemeteries in the San Francisco Bay Area, the Mountain View Cemetery in Oakland, kind of Oakland, Piedmont area. I mean, it is just spectacularly gorgeous. People are walking and running all the time. You know, I put my serious hat on. I would just say everything is great. Just don't disturb mourners. Don't disturb people who are trying to visit and respect their family members. But after that, I just think they're, like I say, treasures, open to the public, wonderful places. You know, people can take whatever they find here, whether it's spiritual or religious, refuge. Walking is meditation, reflection, all that. I'm going to end my video now. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. If you liked this video, don't forget to press the like button. If you have any comments, please drop them below. And finally, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Catch you guys later.